First, I want to, God, thank you. I love all my emotions now.
Because
I don't have to be stuck in any one of them.
And because they indicate where you are, and you want to know where you are.
It's simple.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's really good. I did skip over some things. I didn't like taking notes or having paper, but it's right here, right?
Always.
It's right here.
And not just right here, but can't stop radiating what it is.
Right.
And law of attraction matching it. So there's just always this exchange going on. Putting it out and getting it back, and putting it out and getting it back, and putting it out and getting it back, and putting it out and getting it back. Creating your world.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And, you know, some of the manifestations have been phenomenal. Windsurfing stuff, motorcycle stuff. But some of the neatest things have been like, you think of a song and you have 4,000 songs, your shuffle's going, and it's the next song. I mean, that's good.
That's
fun.
because your future is known. What you call future is present tense in the vibrational realm. The more you tune to that high frequency, the more you are on the frequency with what's in the vortex, and the more advanced announcements, so to speak. That's why you keep getting inspiration. That's why you have good timing. That's why things flow with ease. That's why you place yourself in traffic perfectly and in conversations perfectly. Because at an unconscious level, you are synthesizing that vibration. And as you are intuitive to the emotion and following it, then you're always in the right place at the right time. And it is so satisfying. And that is the basis of worthiness, of a sensation of worthiness. Because when you're living like that, you feel like you got source at your back, and you do, but you know it. The more you know it, then the more it's happening. In other words, you see it, and therefore it is.
Yes. So I finally decided, like, I've been listening to you for a while, and finally I said, well, I think she's just saying you got to feel good and everything else takes care of itself.
Yep.
So yes, it's true. And when I tell people, like some of my friends that are kind of getting it, they're right around it, they're up and down, I'm like, I swear to God, just feel good and everything else will happen.
There's a little bit more to the story. That
True.
is the story.
True.
That is the story. But the next part is, and it is as simple to say, you got to practice feeling good.
Right.
Because you've practiced not feeling good and you've accepted it.
Ow.
You become willing to accept not feeling good. So what's up with that?
Yeah. So the question is,
Well, they told you that it was virtuous. They told you that without pain, there's no gain. And they told you that you got to struggle in order to really make your mark. And they revere those that struggle the most. Those are the biggest monuments. You hardly ever see a monument of some dude that's surfing.
it's very sad.
What's his story? Oh, he just pleased himself. Well, that can't be good. He's just happy all the time. What's wrong with him? Where was his mother? His mother should have taught him better. You're not going to amount to anything if you're just happy all the time.
So I think my second hot seat, one of the questions had to do with like working out and physical, and so my question kind of goes to since finding it, by the way, too, I do believe I will be the first modern man to live to be 200.
You might like that.
I'm having a blast.
You might like that.
Really am.
You might like that, or you might like that, or you might like accepting the eternal nature of your being, and you might enjoy discovering the power of your eternal mind and feeling all of us dead guys that have come before that are now flowing with you right now, who don't care whose body we're focused through as long as it's high flying. In other words, there's a lot to this eternity,
right?
That humans are not investigating very well. We just want you to be mindful. Well, is that a good word, mindful? Want you to be mindful that you're not feeling shortage consciousness in the statement of wanting to live a long, long time in your physical body, because there are fresh insights that come with new exposure to life. But you might be onto something. You could be someone who revels in this high-flying vibration and stays there chronically enough, and therefore allows enough contrast to come to you from that place that you're able to maintain your balance no matter what. That would be the cornerstone or the basis of a really long physical life experience.
So, and this is where a couple of the questions are coming in at is, like, say you go see the doctor, because everybody says, well, you should go to see the doctor.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
And so and so they say, you know, well, you have to work out because, you know, your heart needs to, you know, you need to raise your heart rate every day. I'm like, well, wait, I was just thinking the other day, the thing beats like 24 hours a day. Like, does it need a workout? So, but again, so cause I don't, you know, obviously I don't necessarily have to live to be 200, but I say 100 and 150 and I might cut myself short. So
how about happily ever after?
We're there. We're here. That's.
And is there anything beyond this moment? And isn't this the moment, the juncture where you meet you? And once you get that down, once you're in control of that meeting and you're up to speed with that energy that meets you, aren't you just destined for a perfect life experience once you've got that in place? We think so.
Ecstasy.
Yeah.
And levels of it, which I heard from you, thank God. That was another little revelation.
Yeah.
So what has happened along this trail of finding all this cool stuff out is and feeling good a lot more. I'm going to get to the question right now. Cause I could go on, but so I ultimately stopped like eating meat and dairy, and it really, it's funny because it almost was like a full circle thing. Like all of a sudden, like, man, I just started feeling good and better and better. And this has been like for the last 2 or 3 years. And I thought, well, shit, why didn't I start off with my health and food?
Well, here's a conversation that
did I say should? Could you bleep that in the recording? Just kidding. Yeah.
Here's the conversation that we really want to have around that. When you find your high-flying disc, and from it you are inspired to behavior, then there's ease in it, there's power in it, there's results in it. So our friend applauded when you say that, meaning that there are a lot of people that would like everybody to just take that at face value and perform that function. Do that action in order to get the results that he wishes for you. And we are saying it's a little backwards. Find the high-flying disc and be inspired to the behavior. And the thing that just twists your brain into a knot is that 100 people can get on their high-flying disc and be inspired to 100 different experiences. But humans want the experiences to all be static. They want to say, this experience will yield same results to everyone. But that's not understanding what's in each individual vortex. That's not taking into consideration who you were when you came and the balance that you're wanting to strike as a whole. So we are suggesting that when 100 of you, all of you, 100 of you, get into that high-flying disc and maintain it consistently, that you will individually be inspired to the life experience that you have selectively sifted and put into your vortex. And in many cases, your behaviors will be similar, but in many cases, your behaviors will not. And that's what we meant earlier when we said, choose the frequency, not the thought. Choose the frequency, not the topic. Choose the frequency, not the methodology. Choose the frequency, not the behavior. Choose the frequency and let law of attraction and the source within you guide you to a perfection that you can't find otherwise. You said it better than we could, that your heart is beating and you're not controlling it. You're not going to heart beating classes. Why are you here? Because I want to make sure my heart beats appropriately. I'm going to read all of the medical journals and I'm going to teach my heart how to act appropriately. You don't do that, do you? You don't, do you? Do you do that? good conversation, isn't it? Creating from the inside out is what it is.
I mean, I can tell you that, my heart feels great. My insides feel great. And I'm getting really even closer to the question, but because it's weird. I mean, when I said when I bring that up, I don't eat meat, I don't eat dairy. And, I usually don't want to bring it up for a lot of reasons. Usually I don't want to have a conversation with people because, you have to eat meat. Well, why? Because you were brought up eating meat?
Well, you're having the conversation with yourself, so you might as well be having it with someone else.
That's true, maybe. But, so the real question is...
Same difference.
Because part of what really led to this was, I grew up not feeling good because we ate a lot of meat. That was one thing, so I wanted to eat less meat.
You grew up not feeling good because you weren't chronically on the high-flying disc.
But my body didn't feel good.
Well, we're not disagreeing that you haven't found a perfect balance for you.
Right.
There are so many people that, in whatever way, find alignment and they find a behavior and then they want everybody to follow this precise behavior in order to feel good. And we say, that's the cart before the horse. We want you to feel good and then be inspired to the behavior. Otherwise, what happens to a lot of people is that they look at the results of vibration. In other words, they're looking at the manifestations that people around them are producing. And then they're cataloging them and pigeonholing them and trying to guide people toward those behaviors. And that makes them sort the piles into good piles and bad piles, good things to eat and bad things to eat, which causes people to, in the avoidance of the unwanted things, to just drive themselves deeper and deeper into sort of seclusion. Well, we don't want you to have to drive yourself into seclusion. We want you to be out where everything is, trusting that law of attraction is just going to bring to you the things that really are beneficial to you, because you're in the frequency that helps you find the things that really are in vibrational alignment with who you are and what you want. You see what we're getting at?
So
you feel the difference?
So I should just keep doing what feels good for me.
Yes.
And
what makes you want to talk about it? Anytime someone is arguing for, and we're being very gentle with that word, advocating, anytime someone is advocating for their behavior in a really strong way, it's an indication to us that they're not solidly on the disc. And so they're looking for support from others. When you're solidly on the disc, law of attraction is bringing you all the support you need. And we think that feeling wonderful is the evidence that you're looking for.
Yeah, I was just asking Abraham.
We all...
Just kidding.
Well, we are flattered that you seek our opinion. And we are wanting you to know that you find the opinion of your source in the resonance of emotions that feel good. Ooh,
boom.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Sweet.
That you find the opinion of your source in the resonance of the emotions that feel good. And you can just apply it all day, every day on every subject. And you're going to discover, have you ever watched an animal diverge from its normal instinctual diet? Don't you think it's interesting that some animals eat grasses, some animals eat meat? Don't put your dog on your diet. And say, he won't go, he won't stay. And he's on his high-flying disc when he chooses to. But have you ever seen an animal deviate from its normal, aligned pattern of behavior, following a craving? Because an instinct is saying an introduction of this to your diet on this day, at this time, would be good for you. And so we wouldn't be rigid about any behavior. We would say, I mean to be inspired. Because there are things that your chemical factory wants that are in foods that you are not eating. And it's doing a good job of compensating. But when you get really singular in any direction in diet, you ask your body to work harder in the production of what it needs. So the more balanced your diet is, the more your body has to work with, you see.